let's get this all worked out. Let's put that down. I guess we can put a little bit of this up. We'll put this up, and we will lower the volume on this background music. Good morning from the beautiful west coast of British Columbia, Canada, where I have woken up and decided to play some effing Guild Wars. So here we go. You might be a little loud, my friend. There we have it. Let's see if I remember how to do this. All right. Hey, good morning to each and every one of you who have elected to either show up or to view this on VOD. Little just kind of going to hang out for an hour here. I am hanging out on my Ranger of all things. And I will pop into game at this point. How about we do that? There we have it. It's almost like we know what we're doing around here. Okay. So, these guys are pissing me off. There we go. You can shut the hell up about your stuff. So what have we been doing? We've been playing some video games lately. And I just haven't been playing a whole lot of Guild Wars, to be honest with you guys, in terms of what I have been playing. I've been hopping on about weekly to Guild Wars at this point, and playing some sessions with Cattywampus, but quite frankly, the game just, I've been playing other stuff, to be honest with you. I got to get out of the... this guy talking about his little casino coins. Probably get out of here. Go somewhere else where there is not some noisy meta happening. Let's head up into the Highlands. So, yeah, thought I would pop on for about an hour this morning on this Saturday morning, and hang out, talk about the game, hang out with you all, see what is and is not going on. Let's see, I guess we got a big balance patch coming this week, which should be kind of interesting. I haven't actually even read the patch notes or the upcoming patch stuff. I kind of looked over it, saw a couple of big buffs to Reaper and Dragon Hunter, which should be nice. Dragon Hunter is almost viable. Go figure. Reaper is going to be in a pretty good place this week for those of you guys who just enjoy the smashy. That'll be pretty good. I never really even noticed this. This is interesting. Where does this go? Okay, now I have to know. Can I land in here? Yeah, no. Okay. Wow. I never even noticed that sand portal up in this tree. And now I have to know. And, you know, I had all these ideas where I would talk to you guys, but now I'm completely distracted by this portal in this tree. Can I land here? I'm doing it. Nope. How would we get into this portal if we can't land? Can we land on the portal? Does the portal have collision? Oh, the portal has collision. Okay, so let's land on the portal. Okay, and then the next thing we'll do is we'll hop on our Jackal. Can I get into the portal? Or is it an exit portal only? Nope. Interesting. Okay, well that was a good way to kill a few minutes. Good morning, Gail. Welcome to Guild Wars. Guild Wars 2, the sequel. I don't know if you've heard about this game. It's a pretty good game. I think some people enjoy it. I don't know. Yeah, good morning. Thought I would come and hang out for a little bit and see what was going on and maybe kill this veteran spotted hyena with my overpowered build. I actually don't know what I'm doing with this yet. This is just kind of an experiment I was trying the other night about upkeeping alacrity and doing a decent amount of damage, and I'm not sure I'm doing one of those things. I am upkeeping the alacrity. Just been beating my head against rocks why would one beat one's head against rocks? I'm a little actually curious about that at this point. That's interesting. Yeah, so Guild Wars 2. So I guess we got the big patch. Well, I never heard of this Guild Wars 2 game. Well, let me tell you, this is what is called an MMORPG, which is short for massively multiplayer online game. It is a wonderful experience. Um, yeah, I've been logging in. I haven't even been doing my dailies or anything like that. I haven't been making any gold. Yeah, you know what? One thing I should actually do is go buy my ass for the week. Going to buy my ass for the week. Does this character even go there? Yeah, he does. So here we can go. Blight is absolutely annoying. Okay, so you are talking about playing Harbinger. I actually barely notice the mechanic when I'm playing Harbinger. I can show you how I'm playing it. It's pretty busted. I actually think Harbinger is insanely busted. Oh, I'm gonna need my unusual coins this week too. Okay. And my other stuff. Well, we'll grab these for the moment. I'm slowly in the background working on the last terrestrial weapon I need for my legendaries. I'm slowly working on the longbow, but I can't get into it. Where are we here? So I've got the precursor, the free precursor, but I've just been slowly putting stuff aside. Like, how many asks do I have? I need like 200 of these or some shit. Yeah, that's kind of why I haven't been playing. Epsy, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's actually funny. I put my finger on what was annoying me and what was kind of giving me negative friction about this game about 2 weeks ago. I kind of came to that point. What was it? Muckluck said about Harbinger: drinking and poisoning your enemies isn't a necromancer. That's the Russian mafia, I guess. I don't mind Harbinger. My Harbinger is actually in pretty good shape. I will just pop on mine here. The funny thing about my Harbinger is every time I play it, I put up some really nice numbers, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably get Ascended Armor on this guy. So I am playing Harbinger pretty chill here. Where are we? We are out in the middle of the desert. What was I doing out here? Who knows? Probably fighting a bounty. So I am playing Harbinger in 100% Celestial with Nightmare Runes, Bursting. Wow, I don't even have a second sigil in my focus. I'm not using the focus very much. I'm mainly using a sigil of demons and a sigil of bursting here for the torment. And yeah, everything else in here I am running in Celestial. So yeah, you'd probably want to do that. I don't know. The big damage from Condi is going to come from Scepter. I do, however, really like the pistol on Harbinger. So let's take a look at the build that I'm running here. I am running Soul Reaping, Curses, and Harbinger. Doomfire is where a bunch of your damage is going to come from. Doomfire is really slick and sweet. The vitality is really nice on this in addition, but you could obviously go either way on this. You probably want to go with soul barbs on this for doing the damage, but I just kind of like being chill on that. And then Unyielding Blast. Now over here, Insidious Disruption, which is a nice little torment when you run the Warhorn. Let us see what else we're running here. We're running Master of Corruptions, and we are running Master of Corruptions for the bonus that it's going to give us over here. Though you could probably... Yeah, you could probably go with terror on this, but I just don't like fear in this game. It just feels wrong. So go with Master of Corruptions. The real reason that we're taking this, though, is for Lingering Curse. This is about 20% of your damage right here, and then Parasitic Contagion. If you're willing to give up the damage, this will make you pretty much immortal. Catching up with the chat in a few here for a moment. Haven't played Guild Wars 2 in a while, been busy with other games, but I played it for a few minutes the other day and I forgot how fun Condi Mech was. It's super fun. You said that, Gene, or Jean. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I actually hopped on Condi Mech the other day. I was going through a bunch of hybrid builds that are that give alacrity, and I was kind of wondering what was the best one. I'll get into what I was doing with that in a moment. It's funny. I jumped on it the other day, and I still just don't. It's so far behind Tempest right now that I find it hard to play. And then let's take a look at Harbinger. We're going to run Deathly Haste, so grant boons in yourself to nearby allies when you go into a Shroud. What this will do is perma Quickness, as long as you are in Shroud, to yourself and the people around you, and obviously generate Fury. The Elixir skills given to allies is really nice, but what you really kind of want here is the concentration based on your vitality. All right, which again is why we're going to get a really nice boon of in the Celestial Year. You could probably though go with Dark Gunslinger and get a really nice damage bump on this. Expertise based on Bite is really nice, but I like the concentration. This does give a lot of boons. This build here, just for the utility. Because we're going to be splashing both of these on a regular basis. This is going to be, a not insignificant amount of quickness here, which is really nice. So the idea, let me just go find something basic on it. I'm finding it kind of OP, to be honest with you. Kind of OP. Pure Evil, hey, thank you very much. Yeah, I kind of haven't gone anywhere. I haven't been playing as much Guild Wars 2. Over the last few weeks, I've been playing a whole lot of Elden Ring, to be honest with you guys, and I may feel that Elden Ring is one of the best video games of all time. Anyway, so what we'll do here is we'll start building up, we'll build up our Shroud here, we'll dump this down, we'll pump our elite, or we'll get, really what we just want to do is build that up, get in here, and then as quick as we can, we want to get in here and start doing that damage that way. So we can do that, but it's a not insignificant amount there. We're looking, we're already up at 7. Now that we've got all our blight up, we can do this and this and this and this. So yeah, I guess I'm taking some hits here, but it's pretty sturdy, and I gotta watch that. I'm not obviously playing it very well, but you can get a lot more sturdiness just by changing those traits around a little bit. Maybe running some different runes. You could run some different runes. Maybe since you're worried about the quickness, you could probably do the Firebrand runes. I'm just kind of face tanking it here. I'm not like playing it very hard or anything, but the damage is certainly there, particularly if you're actually playing it for success. Making a couple of those build changes that I mentioned though, but you can pretty much just stand there and just hit stuff. I like it. You thought I didn't like Soulsborne games. Let me explain to you why. What changed my mind about Soulsborne games? Because that is a really good point. I was having some real effing issues with Soulsborne games. For those of you guys who've never played them, they are notoriously difficult games. I bought Dark Souls 1. I think I lasted about 3 hours in it before I put it off to the side. And my feeling about the Soulsborne games was generally that you had to develop a very specific set of muscle memory to enjoy them. And I just wasn't willing to do that. Fast forward to around Christmas, and Caddy Wampus bought me a copy of Sekiro. And again, I tried to go into Sekiro, and the thing about these games is they're so well made, they're so well done, they're just quality pieces of work, and I really wanted to enjoy them. But again, I got my ass handed to me in Sekiro and didn't enjoy it very much because I just wasn't willing to put the time and the effort into kind of building up that muscle memory. And what I did after that was just kind of put the whole genre aside. But about a month and a half ago, a friend of mine, who him and I play video games, a couple times a week, bought me a copy of Elden Ring because there's a mod for it called a seamless co-op mod, and we went in there and I actively started enjoying the game while we were playing it co-op, to the point where I was enjoying the video game probably about as much as I've enjoyed any game in the last 10 years, maybe aside of Guild Wars 2. Witcher 3 was another game that came up to that kind of pedestal, but easily one of the top 5 video games I've ever played. So playing it co-op got me into it. And then what I learned about the genre is there are a lot of ways in these games to make yourself completely overpowered and enjoy the game, but there's so much gatekeeping about the genre, you don't actually understand how these games can be fun and easily enjoyable for people who aren't just, endlessly smashing their head on boss encounters and stuff like that. So I've got a lot of things to say about it. That's where I'm going to kind of jump off the soapbox at this point, but it really changed my mind. Elden Ring, probably one of the top 5 video games I have ever played. It is an absolutely incredible experience. Getting back to the chat, Gail has been maining a Selly Condi Mechanist. Yeah, I pulled mine out this week. I pulled my mech out this week, and I will just hop on her for a second here, show you how I was playing it. Maybe you guys have some ideas. Just kind of cobbled something together. I should have probably just thrown my old build up that I put up about a year ago. But let's see, what it was I running. Firearms, explosives, and mechanist. Okay, so the idea being here that we're going to be, permaying alacrity, obviously. Even pulled out the flamethrower, which was kind of nice. I suppose if you're running the flamethrower, you'd probably want to be with Juggernaut on that if you're rolling around on it. But the problem was not how good this was. The problem is how good this is in relation to Selly Tempest right now, which is probably really overpowered. So yeah, I mean, this is in a really good place. What am I running as my runes here? I'm running Renegade runes in here for the damage. There were a few different things I tried. If you like a really chill experience, going in here and running this with the Perplexity rune. Do we actually even see that? I think I have to do it that way. So the Perplexity rune I ran in here, and what you get here is a small nerf to, well, I mean, compared to the Renegade runes, a pretty big nerf to your damage. But you get a 10% damage reduction on you by confused foes. And since the mace does a lot of confusion, if you take a look, the 1 and the 2 are doing a lot of confusion. It brings up the numbers really well at the same time as giving you this extra survivability. It's pretty nice for just rolling around chill. I like these. If I'm trying to do some decent damage, though, and upkeep the boons, for open world, let's be clear. This is I wouldn't run this beyond like a T1 or a T2 fractal. Yeah, this is kind of how I'm running it. And yeah, it's super strong. It's super strong. But The problem is that when it comes to alacrity providers these days, uh, it's not as good as even Renegade still is. Renegade's still a better alacrity provider, I think, in terms of the overall gameplay experience, anyways. So that's kind of my thought. That's kind of my thought. Really, when it comes to these kind of utilitarian open world, do everything, a decent amount of damage kind of builds that I've been uh, trumpeting for the last couple of years. Yeah, this one is okay. This one is okay. I would call this B, even A tier, but these days I really have a hard time recommending anything but Celestial Tempest, which does the job so much better. Glad to hear you enjoyed Elden Ring. My advice to you, you should ever branch out into other Souls games, is to build guides and go with one that looks fun, and personally recommend your strength builds. Gene, one of the things that changed my mind about those games was playing a mage build. Um, I just built a mage build. The other thing that changed my mind about those games was, yeah, following other people's guides and stuff like that, which was really eye opening in terms of how flexible those games are. Absolutely. Strength builds are stupidly OP in any Souls games. Yeah, I was playing an intelligence build and kind of enjoying it. Really enjoying it, actually. Not even going to front. Really enjoying the way it let me trivialize certain parts of the game. I thought was really nice because, again, there's a lot of gatekeeping in there. I don't even have the currency to open that chest. So really, yeah, the problem is not the mech. The problem is that in terms of what it is doing, Condi Tempest can keep up with the damage in Traveler runes while providing a really meaningful heal at the same time, which I don't find you're getting out of the Condi Mechanist. The Mechanist is really nice for sure. Let's get, well, I guess I was already there. We'll go back to the Mechanist for a moment, maybe hit on something large for a second and take a look at it. Um, the problem is the sustain for other people is not there on the Condi Mechanist. So if we come in heal, and don't get me wrong, it's still stupidly OP, but I don't recommend it as highly as maybe I would. I would recommend this for people who just want to press one, because it's still viable that way. Let's see if there's the giant is up. If the giant is up, it will all be easy. I tell you that. The giant is not up. Let's go to this one. Mech isn't as generous. It isn't. Mech is a safer. Mech is absolutely safer. It just doesn't provide the heal that Tempest does. Tempest, when you're playing Celestial Tempest these days, it's providing a ridiculous amount of heal as well. We'll let these dudes do that, and then we'll hop in. So, yeah. It's totally right. Come on, you can do it. Let's do it. So, you'll spam that. Go in here and just start wailing on it. And you can pretty much just face tank almost anything if you're playing it right. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Of course, the numbers will be lower on this one. This one, I think it's got prot or something like that. Anyways. But yeah, you can just kind of sit there and do your thing and not even worry about anything. I guess maybe it's the passive playstyle to it, right? But, it's all there. You can bring that. The thing that this build does really well, I guess if you wanted a little more damage, you could run the offhand pistol, but the shield skills are really nice break bar hit. Anyways, let's go back here. Yeah, and Magic is incredibly OP minus those bosses. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I do like sustain more with the power mech. I prefer the power mech overall. If I'm gonna play Mechanist, yeah, I like the power mech because I like the rifle. I like what they did with the rifle and everything. But yeah, again, it's B, maybe A tier for sure. I've never gotten the knack of the shield on any class. I'm weird with it that way. There are very few builds I really enjoy playing shield on. I like it on Herald. Herald's another thing that I've been playing the shit out of lately. I've been playing a lot of Condi Herald. To actually give a full picture of what I've been doing in game these days is I've been doing something called Ultimate Duos, which I've been talking about a lot, kind of on the offhand, where me and one other person will try and play builds that actually that complement each other. And the kind of ultimate these days is Condi Tempest and Condi Herald. So you'll get your oh, I guess I gotta just like hit this thing, don't I? Okay, there we go. Where you'll use the Herald skill that extends boons, and you'll use the Tempest skill that it extends boons. So you've got this ridiculous uptime for quickness and alacrity out of these two characters because they're kind of feeding each other and buffing each other. I'll show you this really quickly here. So basically you'll run a Condi Tempest and you will boon the living shit up on it. And just to give you an idea, once I've loaded here, I guess I shouldn't load into hubs where everybody's coming in here. But on Warhorn 4 here, you've got Sand Squall apply protections to your allies, then increase the duration of all boons currently existing on you and your allies, and gain magnetic aura. So what you're getting here is a 3-second boon duration. So any boons that are on us once we do this, so obviously we'll go in here, we'll maybe generate a little bit of might, and then we'll give ourselves some alacrity. So we've got a lot of boons here at this point. So now when we go into 4, we give 3 seconds to everything that's up there, which is ridiculous. Now, if we're also playing with a Condi Herald, we'll take a look at that. Yeah, I suck on Chrono, pure evil. I really suck on Chrono. I'll never understand Chrono. But if we are playing on Herald... Oh, shit, this is the wrong Revenant. I have too many revs. Okay, where's my other rev? There she is. All right. So if we are playing on Condi Herald, what we will do is once those boons are extended by the Tempest... we will also extend the boons with a facet of nature, right? So basically what it will do is we will go in here. We will start giving ourselves all this luscious quickness, right? So now we're at 14. Double click the 2. What are we at here? So we got a whole lot of quickness here at this time. So we get the boon duration off that. So when we are stacking that with the Tempest, what we get is a situation where everything but Aegis and Stab are absolutely permed. And if you had, I guess, you know, any kind of Guardian with you on that, it would be ridiculous. Yeah, no, you can definitely never have too many revs. So basically, the most overpowered duo in the game these days is Condi Rev and Condi Tempest, basically both in Selly gear. And when I say that, I mean, you know, for just like duoing legendary bounties or handling like really tough kind of shit. What we'll do is we'll take those two and we'll full CM DRMs, or we'll do fractals or whatever just on those two characters together. And again, what I was thinking about is what are the alacrity providers under this kind of thing. So obviously you have Conde Mechanist, you have Tempest, you have all of your alacrity providers. Obviously there are others. You could get some off Chrono as well. Um, but in terms of what everything is bringing to the table right now, I just don't see a reason why you wouldn't play Tempest. With the other option being Selly Mirage, which can absolutely perma alacrity in the Celestial Year. And does higher damage than the Tempest build, but the Mirage just doesn't have the same kind of utility with it. The Mirage does do better brick bar hate though. So yeah, so the Selly Mirage also I was in the conversation, but that gets me back to the beginning of this where I was talking about Ranger, and about coming up with a Ranger build that kind of competed at this level, because when you're talking about Ranger, you could do the Condi damage and then get everything off these spirits. Rev is life, but it's all about being friends with the dead, guys. It's funny because it's true. I love Rev. Um, so yeah, so then you can obviously pull it off your Selly. Am I playing this in Selly? Let's find out. I'm absolutely playing this in Selly. I do have infusions on this character, which is bumping the damage a little bit, but that's just for memes because I wanted to. What are we? Bursting in energy. So you're running staff, and just pretty much just spamming the ambush attacks. The problem with the alacrity on this is it's so spotty, and where it's generated, it can be harder to upkeep the alacrity on other people unless everybody is completely stacked at all times. But that goes away if you are playing it with, say, the Quickness Herald, which is extended boon duration. So, yeah, so that's where that is. Peak fashion, though, right? Peak fashion. Beautiful. So yeah, the other games I have been playing recently, as I mentioned earlier, I have been playing some Path of Exile. Um, Path of Exile, I have been playing solely because of the ruthless hardcore mode, which actually brings some fun to it. If any of you guys don't know what Path of Exile is, Path of Exile is a Diablo clone, ARPG, very much like Grim Dawn, Diablo, etc. But it's got a hardcore mode in it, which is basically if you die, your character is perma-dead. And it's got a mode called Ruthless in it, which actually plays with the drops, and makes even the sketchiest garbage drops that you get as you are leveling uh, to be important, because so little drops as you are leveling through the game. So you actually become invested in what drops from monsters, which is a problem this game absolutely has, and most ARPGs have, in that you get inundated with bunches of crap. You go back to town, you empty your bags, you sell it, and you accumulate your wealth that way. This game, with its bags and bags, being a prime offender of this issue that I'm kind of talking about, that our bags get filled with garbage, and as stuff drops from monsters, we barely care unless the game tells us to care. So when you are playing Ruthless mode in Path of Exile, the drops get nerfed so badly, that you start caring about what's coming out of the monster drops. So it's fun. It's fun in a frustrating way. So you get together with your pals and you play it that way. It's not like uh, Path of Exile is an actual fun game, because I actually don't think it is. I think the rule set makes it fun, and just hanging out with your friends makes it fun. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it otherwise. Let's try Zeke here. He's pretty hard. And we will do this in Selly Mirage. And again, so the alacrity is upkept really high on this, but the problem is the alacrity, the way the alacrity is generated is a little less controllable than it is, say, on other ones. MC could say, "Hey, Robin, wow, it's been a while. How you doing? How you doing?" Oh no, this is not where it is. It's over this time. We're here this time. Tempest again taking the nod there. Did they remove the alacrity on the Rev bill on Ventari? I think they did remove that too. I think they totally removed that. So let's give it a shot here. We'll see how we do. It's been a while since I've tried to solo this. I usually two-man this, so we'll see what happens. So basically, yeah, you're just going to try and upkeep that ambush as much as possible. But it's doable. As you see, it's pretty durable. But I'm not playing it super well. But, you know, that's a fairly hard bounty, and, you know, we're making damage on it. We're not, like, running for our lives or anything like that. It's got a bad RNG on it, so, yeah. It's a strong build, and as you see, the alacrity is pretty much always there. I have no problem with it. But it's also not the most fun build to play. This is one of those, you know, ones that they talk about, oh, it's so chill, and you can just sit there and, you know, play it, and it's super easy. I would say that about it. I'm also not very good at it, so let's be honest. So you just weapon swap, keep proccing that, whatchamacallit. Keep proccing that ambush, and you are good. And don't stand in the Scorcher. Anyways, I'm not sure I'm gonna, you know, hang out and finish this. It's, yeah, it's one of those things. You know, I guess they're nerfing this a little bit next week. Is that what I read? No, I'm not wrapping up yet. Yeah, you rolled a daredevil you love. Yeah, come on by. I'm just gonna chill out like this for a little bit. Send me a message in game. I'm gonna hang out for another half hour or so, and then I have some lawn mowing to do, which is of course the most interesting thing of all. Can I see that? Okay, no, I'm reading like guild chat or something like that. It's crazy. I've missed Saturdays. Yeah, I haven't been doing that. Yeah, it's losing a bit of its alacrity duration. That is what I read. I think the idea is that they're looking to rope in the builds that are actually perming things like quickness and alacrity, but at the same time are not, you know, investing into boon duration. Like, they want to make sure you're running some kind of boon duration or something like that. And, you know, you can't really fault that thinking. You know, the game is a little out of balance these days. It's become a lot easier over the last couple of years, right? But there we have it. Man, I miss doing this too. The reason I haven't been doing it, and the reason I haven't been making content, etc., has just got to do with I will invite you to the party too if you want. I just haven't been as passionate about Guild Wars 2. I've been playing a lot of other games, and been enjoying them a lot more, and it's always been on my mind that I don't want to make videos, I don't want to make content just because I feel like I should, or I've labeled myself a content creator. Because it's going to come through in the content. If I'm not, like, happy with the game, if I'm not like actively enjoying the game, it's gonna come through in what I make. And you know, my how do you put it? You know, I don't make a living at this. I guess is the best way to put it. I have a job, right? And I guess I don't want to come in and make videos just because I feel like I have to, or to grow the channel or something like that. And if I'm not super passionate about it, if I'm passionate about another game, you know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that anybody wants to hear my thoughts on Elden Ring, because they're not particularly well developed or anything. It's just a newbie who likes to play some Elden Ring, right? Content for the sake of content schedule is usually bad content. Agreed. Yeah, that really is it. That really is it. Eric, have I tried D2 Resurrected? I'm going to be honest with you. I do not play Blizzard video games anymore. I don't play games by Blizzard anymore. It's a conscious choice I made as a consumer. I used to be a very big Blizzard fanboy, and I would buy any game that had Blizzard's name on it because I knew it would be good. I lost a girlfriend to Diablo 2. I was a massive fan of each and every freaking Blizzard game, and I would play the living shit out of them. StarCraft, Warcraft 2, even Warcraft 3 is where they started to lose me with the game. I didn't get into World of Warcraft, but all the way up to D2, I was into their products. I just can't anymore. I can't get into... I can't get behind them as a company. The way they treat some of their workers. When I heard that they were paying some of their workers, their QA staff, in microtransaction currency for the store, you know, I was just like, fuck that. And then all the stuff over the last few years, they're just not a company I'm willing to support anymore. And you know, there are enough games out there that you don't have to kind of thing. Is kind of the way that I look at it. So I didn't play D3. They lost me before that, but I'm kind of hardcore. I don't play Blizzard video games anymore. And I've seen no reason to walk back on that stance. The company itself is just not the game company they used to be, as far as I'm concerned. So I just don't play their games. That's a long way to say that I'm boycotting Blizzard's products, but it is the truth. It is the truth. Yeah. No, don't be sorry you brought it up. I mean, as a consumer these days, that's kind of how we make our choices, right? This is a really tough boss for a thief build. Wow. I give you full credit for even trying to be in here, Midnight. And no, I saw that thing this week where the Guild Wars devs were like, and we think Thief is in a good place. Yeah, see, I'm getting rocked too. We're dead. This guy had our number, but Jadebot is going to carry my ass. I swear it. Come on, Jadebot, you can do it. Yeah. Let's see if we can do this one. This one gets a little sketchy if you play it hard. But yeah, no, getting back to what I was saying, as a consumer, we make our choices these days. There are other games to play. There are a lot of really good games to play, and it sucked in that I used to be able to rely on that company for my entertainment, and I just can't anymore. D4 looks okay, but I don't think that there's anything that I've seen in D4 other than, the polish that would make me feel like I wanted to play it over, say, Path of Exile or Grim Dawn or anything like that, which I think are good games. So, yeah, I'm kind of anti-Blizzard these days. It's just my own personal stance. We all, make our choices where we spend our money, and that's just not one of the places I want I want to spend mine. Any game with season pass is a skip. Yeah, I don't know if I'm that far into it. I've not played any games with a season pass, but I will be fully down on the seasons pass with Tekken 8. I will be playing a whole lot of Tekken 8. I guarantee you now. I got to make sure I can stay alive before I can res. There we go. Oh, nope. Nailed me. There is no hope. There is no hope. So yeah, I'll get in on the season pass with Tekken 8. Tekken 8 looks to be a really great game, and I'm a big fan of the franchise. I've been playing a lot of Tekken 7 over the last few weeks. And it's one of those things where if I think there's value in it, I'll do it. If it's a couple of extra characters and some stuff for $15, I don't mind supporting. I've paid my money into this game as, support money more than once. Wow, this is getting sketchy. Am I gonna? No. He's rocked. Is there anything left for me to kill and rally? Oh, so close. No, you can't do it. Oh, and somebody comes in. Oh, Guild Wars, you so crazy. There it was. All right, I will get back out there and finish the job now. That's too bad. That was really close. So I don't have a problem with a season pass. I do have a problem with game companies that don't treat their employees very well. I guess is more of it's more about that. It's I know I could buy Diablo and get a solid game out of it, and there it is. It's dead. I know I could buy Diablo and get a solid game experience out of it and really enjoy it, but there are other games to play, I guess is the good thing. One of the other things that I've noted as I've been game hopping lately, do we have anything up here? Yeah, this one's up. One of the other things I've noted as I've been game hopping lately is there really isn't any other MMORPG that I would rather play than Guild Wars 2. I think I may be just a little bit more burnt on the genre than anything else. I looked at a lot of other MMOs, and the only other one that looked even passably interesting was doing another run through Star Wars The Old Republic to play some of the story stuff there. But man, MMOs are in really bad shape in terms of the creativity level. There just isn't anything new in there. And this one is still by far and away the most reasonable one. And I started looking at what people do when they're playing World of Warcraft to get the specific cosmetics they want and stuff like that. I can't even go there. And I looked at all sorts of other MMOs that are out, and there wasn't one that even looked passably interesting. And that actually basically got to why I didn't enjoy End of Dragons was kind of linked to that. I don't want to say I didn't enjoy End of Dragons. I have been very public in that I did not enjoy End of Dragons and as much as the other expansions, and I didn't explain why because I wasn't sure why, but I figured it out a couple of weeks ago. And that was that End of Dragons was very much old school MMO design in terms of reward structures and progressions. It was character bound stuff. It was stuff that you really get used to seeing in other games, right? That build, by the way, Robin, is pretty good. After we're done this fight, you should probably show everybody. And a lot of, things like character-bound progression with the Jade bot, things like the stats being, the Ritualist stats and the Dragon stats being hidden behind a bunch of grind unless you had legendary gear. A bunch of things like that. Another good one being the Ascended weapons for the Ascended weapons for the Elite specs, they all had those really nice skins and everything, but each one required a separate story playthrough. Absolutely awful character grinding, character bound progression, even with the cosmetics. And wow, that was really a step in the opposite direction from what I was really enjoying about this game for the most part over the first 5 years of it. Other than obviously the gameplay, which is still the best gameplay in MMOs. And that really is kind of what hit me about it was all very grind your time, do it over and over again kind of mentality, which I will additionally admit has been very healthy for the game. The game is in a pretty good place in terms of the number of people who are playing it, the people who are engaged in it. So while the game took a step in a direction that maybe I didn't enjoy as much, the game is doing pretty good right now. You know, you can't really go to just about anywhere. Do we want the champion man-eater? No, I do not want the champion man-eater. Let's go fight something where sand sharks won't jump us. Let's go here. So it really gets back to what I'm saying about, you know, old school MMO design, where this game really was, you know, when you wanted to do your desert weapon collection, it took you an afternoon, right? You had to go and do a few. You had to go and collect a few different things. You had to go and okay, yeah, you can teleport to me. You had to do a few collections, but you could do it in an afternoon. You could get an ascended weapon out of it. Not only could you get an ascended weapon out of it, you could take that ascended weapon and, you know, stat change it or whatever. And yeah, it was an afternoon. Well, now you've got an 8-hour story you've got to go through on every character to earn that. Well, that as somebody who plays 22 different characters, that's negative friction for me. I get that that's a reward and a time sink and a, feels good moment, etc. For somebody who's never gone through it the other way and who is used to older school MMO design, I get how people could feel that way. But I got negative friction from it. I got negative friction from that and a few of the mechanics in End of Dragons. Which made me go and want to play other games. Oddly enough, did not make me want to play other MMOs. Made me want to play Tekken. Made me want to play... don't forget to step off to these globes every once in a while, or you're going to lose all your... you're going to just get your health chunk down. So I went and played some skill-based games. Games that weren't just time-based in terms of your progression. Which MMOs essentially are. They are very time-based video games. While Guild Wars may have a skill component to it, most MMOs don't. Most MMOs are very much a point-and-click experience. So I came to that while I was doing some of the new content. The game got a real big thumbs up for me for, adding that new stuff for the Super Adventure Box. I thought was cool. Letting us check out some of their stuff that was done early, I thought was kind of interesting. I thought the focus on strikes was really good for those people who like that kind of content, which I do. But I still haven't done the last strike they done. I've just kind of been taking my joy in this game doing wacky stuff, like this, basically. I think I can get you. I think I've got you. I got you, fam. All right. And that's kind of where I've been. So there can't be any videos because when I talk about it, it's going to come across in my voice, that I'm not enjoying what I'm playing. And, you don't want to subscribe to my channel right now if I'm putting out a video every 8 months. So I'm just going to be chill about it. Maybe hop on every few mornings. I want to make an Elden Ring video. I want to make a video talking about why Elden Ring is so badly gatekept, but a whole lot easier than most people might initially think. I want to make I want to make a video on what Guild Wars 2 does wrong, and I don't think anybody really wants to hear that. Why didn't I enjoy End of Dragons? Does anybody really want to see a video of me bitching about the game? No. Particularly when my point of view is not necessarily a healthy one, and the new direction for the game is actually probably more healthy for it. So I'll probably just come up with a couple things, but I am really interested in the patch next week. Epsy pointing out City of Heroes. Hey, City of Heroes got a patch this week. There's a new power set and some power set proliferation. So yeah, I may actually they added some content on the private server to City of Heroes, so I may go check that out a little bit later. My plan right now is to wrap up this fight, and then I'm going to go mow a lawn. That's where I'm at this point. Oh, Mirage, you so crazy. And there we have it. I'm actually, yeah, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Midnight's build after this fight. Because that shouldn't happen. My favorite thing about EOD is the first two maps, and map 4 are essentially 240 easy hero points. That is a really sad statement about your enjoyment of that expansion. It's easy hero points. That is really, that's negative right there. That's somebody right there, Gale, that did not enjoy content, and that's really a shame. I thought that there was some good stuff in EOD, and I'm looking for another playthrough. Midnight, if you are listening, can you ping your build, because I'm pretty interested in what you were running there. The survivability on Thief was pretty strong on Daredevil, so we'll wait. We should have inspect. I should be able to right-click inspect Midnight. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't awful. Let's see. There we go. Let us see the build, and we will inspect. Nice power. Gain power. Does this provide any actual? Oh, it gives you the extra 80 now. I'm living in a world where and they did this forever ago, but I just haven't been enjoying Power Thief, where you didn't get the base 80 on that. Okay. This might be good too, but yeah, okay. So we're running Dagger, alright. Gain Vitality based on power. Alright. Pin your gear. I'd like to see your gear on that as well. Critical ferocity based on precision. Yeah, so this is invigorating precision. Is this still ass, or is this any good anymore? This might be good. Okay, so it's yeah. So why were you so beefy in there? What kind of gear are you running? It's beautiful, no doubt, but it wasn't terribly fun. Yeah. Well, it isn't showing your stats because these are stat selectable. What do you force? Yeah, force impact, scholar. So you're running that in Marauders, or I'm thinking you would run that in Marauders. Yeah, I guess you're running it in Marauders. Okay, well, I may have to take another look, because that was standing in the middle of some pretty hectic stuff that Power Thief particularly really doesn't, really struggles with. I'll kill that stuff. I mean, Thief really in the worst shape of any class for open world still, I believe. Maybe a couple of good Spectre builds, but I didn't think those were fun. And that's what it gets back to, Spectre wasn't fun. I didn't think Spectre was fun. Wow, was it fun? I liked that last meta. I thought that last meta was incredibly fun. I thought the strikes were fun. I thought... What I didn't find fun was some of the exploration in Ekavald was really tedious, I want to say. Um, Exploration in the final map is iffy, but those meta maps are never good for exploration. But it was still better than most. Better than most. I liked the last map. I loved the music. Oh my god, I loved the music of End of Dragons. I know that's a totally nerdy thing to say, but the music of EOD was really good. The EOD was good. Most of the elite specs were solid, um, and played fun. I didn't like the reward structure. I didn't like how the entire thing was to funnel you into legendary gear. And that's just me personally. I can't collect another stack of T6 blood. I just can't do it. I'm grinded out. I'm grinded out on it. I can't do another set of armor. I'm doing this weapon, on the side kind of thing. I've done every other land weapon but the longbow. I've done a set of armor. I've done 2 legendary trinkets. I cannot grind like that anymore. And that is where the reward structure of End of Dragons goes. It really is, into the legendaries, into the legendary skins, etc. And again, I will say it 100%. It was the right move for the game. It was just the wrong move for Mind Circus, I guess is the best way to put it. As not to say that I've had it. I'm still obviously playing it daily, right? But it taught me to look for my fun in other genres for a little while. Skill-based games have a lot to offer. And that, my friends, is where I am going to hop off my soapbox. I have enjoyed the last hour with you guys a great deal. I will be back. I will probably make an Elden Ring video at some point just for memes. But I don't live under the assumption that people want to see anything other than my Guild Wars content. Love you guys muchly. Have an excellent afternoon. It was good to be seen. And those of you on VOD, keep it real. Have fun in game. Min-max your real lives.